Bartolotta, and we begin today's top headlines with breaking news. At least one person is dead, 9 others injured after a shooting this afternoon at the Mall of Louisiana. Baton Rouge police say they believe 2 groups of people got into a fight at the mall's food court, and this was likely targeted, but that bystanders may have been among those injured. We're also told at least one suspect is still at large, but police do not believe there's an ongoing threat to the public. We have reporters on the scene right now. Sananda McCall joining us from Baton Rouge. Sananda, walk us through what happened here, because these situations can be fluid.
Hey, Cherise, absolutely. As we can see, there is an active investigation going on right now behind me. This scene is pretty active right now with several agencies, including the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, the Baton Rouge Police Department, State Police, several individuals and agencies are here right now. Now, there was a press conference that was heard earlier today. We know that 10 people here at the Mall of Louisiana were injured in a shooting just after 2:30 this afternoon near the food court. 6 people were transferred to Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center. The chief says 2 people sustained significant trauma and needed surgery. And we now know that 1 person showed up to Baton Rouge General Hospital with gunshot wounds. We also just confirmed, as you mentioned earlier, that now one of those injured is now deceased. We also heard that an employee of our sister station at WBRZ was actually here at the mall when the shooting broke out and was among those that had to be safely guided to a holding room so that officials could conduct a head count of the patrons here. Now, at that time, all entrances to the mall were closed off. They are still currently closed off, we did confirm, and it was a pretty scary situation. Now, Chief Morris, who is the police chief here, says that this was not a random shooting. Take a listen to this.
What we found out looking through surveillance videos, it looks like it was kind of a targeted 2 groups of people got into an argument inside the food court and started shooting at each other. Unfortunately, there were some innocent people that were in the area that might have also caused some rounds.
And we're hearing that there may be another press conference to provide more information on just the status of this investigation right now. And I did confirm that the Baton Rouge General Hospital was on lockdown amidst the shooting that took place earlier. I gave them a call and asked if they are still on lockdown. They said that they are no longer on lockdown. And that right now, as we said, this investigation is currently still active. They're taking a look at some of the surveillance footage to see if they can get any idea on who some of these suspects are. I'll be working to get more information on that, Cherise.
All right, Sananda, thank you so much. All of this on the heels of another tragic shooting earlier this week in North Louisiana. We, of course, will.
Okay. I'm back. Sorry that I have to be back under these types of circumstances, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, those that don't know, there was, good evening, everyone. There was, unfortunately, a tragedy that took place in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, my adopted home city of Baton Rouge, where unfortunately there was a shooting, although this doesn't appear to be a mass shooting, but seemed to have been targeted. But nevertheless, it's always sad when you have a loss of life, especially when there's a young person. And unfortunately, this happened at the Mall of Louisiana, a place that I used to go to when I lived in Baton Rouge lots of times. My house actually was right behind. My house was actually not even 5 minutes away from the Mall of Louisiana at the time I was living in Baton Rouge. Excuse me. It was just a little 4-minute drive or so forth. In fact, I don't know if they did, but they were actually to the point where they were actually talking about building opening up a roadway a passageway where they could actually I lived in an area in Baton Rouge. They call it St. George now, but this area neighborhood at one time was Wimbledon Estates. And the Mall of Louisiana was right there. So I used to frequent that area. So it's sad to see that there was this incident, especially where unfortunately a 17-year-old whose name has not yet been released lost his life. Or their life, or her life. I don't know if this was a boy or a girl, but it happened in the food court at the mall. There is video footage apparently after the incident happened. Of course, this is still an active investigation that's being conducted by the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, as well as the Baton Rouge Police Department, local law enforcement. Everyone is getting involved in something like this. And this is coming off, of course, what happened in Shreveport, unfortunately, where you had Shamar Elkins, who had been identified. That information I did a video on that, a live stream on that on Sunday. And that information wasn't easily provided to us at that time. We now know who he was and that he targeted 7 of his children, and as well as another child who I believe was his nephew. So, and the mothers of his children. So it's a shame that we are all going through this. We're seeing stuff like this, but violence happens, of course, every day. Uh, we live in a dark, sick country, a twisted world where unfortunately we have people who care about themselves and who have no issue or have no qualms with harming others, sadly. Uh, I'm waiting to hear more information, of course, with this. I'm going to play the rest of the video. Another thing that happened too in regards to that, to that shooting, there was also a festival threat that supposedly was thwarted. A former police officer out of Florida, was actually supposed to be coming to New Orleans supposedly, and was going to be targeting Black Americans in New Orleans at a festival. Now, they didn't say which one, but as y'all know, this weekend, many of you may or may not know, this weekend is Jazz Fest, as well as next weekend, and that is one of the biggest tourist spots in New Orleans. It's one of the hottest events that goes on in New Orleans. Of course, we just recently had the French Quarter Fest, which is very popular. Now we have Jazz Fest, which takes place at the fairgrounds. So I'm going to play a video of this incident. Hold on.
We'll continue to follow the story as it develops, and you can also get the latest on our app, our social media pages, and our website. We will also, of course, go back to Sananda when that press conference does begin. And in more top stories, we are following this afternoon, a North Carolina man and former law enforcement officer was in jail accused of plotting an attack on a Louisiana festival. 44-year-old Christopher Gillum was arrested last night near Destin, Florida.
A law enforcement officer, by the way, an ex law enforcement officer. I wonder what the X was for. He might have gotten ousted. He sure as hell didn't retire. When I look at him, I feel like watching Men in Black.
It's about 4 hours from here. The sheriff's department there says he had hundreds of rounds of ammunition in his hotel room. While that festival has not been named, Jazz Fest did begin today, and our investigative team is working as we speak to learn more. Meanwhile, the gates of the fairgrounds, they opened a schedule this morning with the usual security measures in place. New Orleans police say they do have a strong plan already in place to keep festival goers safe. Thousands are expected to visit the festival over the next 2 weeks, and organizers are reminding everyone to just stay hydrated, wear comfortable shoes, and plan ahead for parking and transportation, and be aware of your surroundings and of road closures that are in that area. This afternoon, the search for a missing boater in the Tangible River continued. However, deputies say this is no longer a rescue mission.
Yeah, so this uncivilized mud, allegedly, as Willie D would say, was going to target the Black community. Now, I wasn't even thinking about that earlier until I saw this in the video. It was being caught with the shooting in Baton Rouge. So that's why I was talking about that. But to get back, I want to get back to the shooting in Baton Rouge that took place, ladies and gentlemen. There is some more video footage apparently from WWL TV, and it comes from a Ryan Johnson. This was on Facebook. The Baton Rouge Mall of Louisiana. The Mall of Louisiana was actually on lockdown when the shooting started. And apparently there's some video footage from inside where paramedics were responding. So I'm going to play that for y'all. Hold on one second. This is the food court for sure. Fair use, by the way. This is the food court. I immediately recognize it. Of course, this is where I used to go out when I was younger. When I was living in Baton Rouge, this is where I would frequent the mall. That's the carousel.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. One in the blue hoodie. That's all I heard was the one that was shooting.
Yeah.
Oh my God. One in the blue hoodie. That's all I heard was the one that was shooting.
They're blocking off the escalator. You see,
This is fucking
yeah, stores look like they pulled their gates down.
This is fucking wild.
That's the jewelry store that was right there. Yeah, I recognize that. So yeah, it's crazy times we are living in right now, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be safe. Uh, yeah, I'm always strapped. I'm always strapped. You never know when you need it. I'd rather have it and not have to use it versus needing it and then I don't have it. Situations like this, but this sounds like this, and I'm just paraphrasing. They have 5 in custody. They don't say who they are, but this sounds like, especially if it was a teenager that was targeted or teens that were targeted, this sounds like, and they say it started over an argument, according to reports I have. These sound like young people. These sound like teenagers, 18 years old. I would not be surprised if I learned that. I would not be surprised. And then you listen to, yeah, the stuff. Yeah. So Christopher Gillum, that guy Christopher Gillum, by the way, oh, he's yeah, he was a former officer, but for how many years? Somebody showed me. I wonder what he was really. Yeah, I like to see what he was actually kicked off the force for, if he was kicked off, because it sounds like if they say former law enforcement officer, he's not retired. I'm willing to bet the farm he's not retired. At 44 years old, no. We got more from the mayor of Baton Rouge, Sid Edwards. Hold on.
And sometimes the devil lives everywhere. And this is one of those situations, no matter how much law enforcement you got or social programs or whatever, if someone gets in their mind that they're going to do something like this, they're going to do it.
What we found out looking through surveillance videos, it looks like it was kind of a targeted 2 groups of people got into an argument inside the food court and started shooting at each other. Unfortunately, there were some innocent people that were in the area that might have also caused some rounds.
If they haven't released them yet, I think
the
these are young people. They haven't released their ages and names or faces. These might be younger people. That's my bet. Okay. So, yeah, this is a tragic situation, guys. What is going on in the world that we can have young people get shot and killed and so forth? A dad targeting his children. You know, things are just crazy right now. People are losing their minds. People have no sense of morals. People have no sense of responsibility, and it's not getting any better. It doesn't seem that way. But yeah, my prayers to all that were involved, all that may have been targeted. As a result of as a result of these heinous acts, uh, you know, I pray for healing. I pray for everybody's safety up there in Baton Rouge and all over the world, especially, Louisiana. We're getting a bad rep right now with everything that's going on. Got a lot of people in the chat. We got a lot of people. Shout out to all my people that are on YouTube, but as well as on Rumble and X, because I get a lot of views from X. Every time I pop on this live stream, I pop and do a live stream, people on X show me love. They're viewing the channel. So I'm always grateful that I have followers that watch me on live stream on X, y'all. That's a blessing. It makes me know that I'm not alone. But, I don't come on with the great frequency. You all know why. And I've stated before just what I've been, going through personally. I try and I'm going to try to show my face every now and then, not to be on every time like a great regularity, but enough to know that I'm alive and well. So everybody will know. But y'all know how hard it is to get views on these channels and on these platforms. So you got to make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Hit the thumbs up button. If you want to drop something also in the Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle at the bottom, just to know that you love me, you can do that too. But I'm not. But it's there for a reason. It's there, but I'm not tripping on it. But yeah, we're gonna be investigating. This is gonna be an ongoing thing for the next couple of days. Like I said, I lived in Baton Rouge. I remember in 2015, 2016, no, it was 2016 when the Alton Sterling thing, and that was almost 10 years. That was about 10 years ago when that popped off. And they had the shooting in Baton Rouge at the Baton Rouge police station about a couple of months after the Alton Sterling killing. Alton Sterling, of course, was killed by those punk ass Baton Rouge Police Department officers. I can't think of the name. The one guy who escalated everything. Of course, they never prosecuted the officers, which everybody knows they don't. I knew that was coming because I had heard news about it when I was at the 19 JDC that they didn't expect them to be prosecuted. But I remember then subsequently after that, there was the shooting. Excuse me. Why is it doing this? Gavin Long, yeah. When he ambushed the Baton Rouge police. That was in the wake of the Alton Sterling killing, yeah. I remember that. That was not far from the Be Quick convenience store was around there, as well as the Baton Rouge Police Department headquarters, because that's where the old women's hospital is. They took up their headquarters there, as well as the clerk of court has an office there in Baton Rouge. The X name is Gavin Rich 2786. So no, I wasn't going to be long tonight, guys. That's all I want to talk about. Women's Hospital is further down airline. Yeah. Well, all right, family. You guys be safe and be blessed. Yeah, I wasn't feeling that great, but I had to come on and talk about this just briefly. So, yeah, this wasn't going to be a live one, but we're going to keep monitoring these stories, man. We're going to keep monitoring what's going on in Shreveport. So, y'all be safe and be blessed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get up out of here. Yeah, I'm not doing any long live streams anymore for a little bit. Maybe if there's a special that comes on, all right? Okay, family, y'all be safe and be blessed. I'll holla. Peace. Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.